Episode 2 of 86 gave us everything that I was hoping we would get in episode 1. My two main complaints about episode 1 were that the action scenes were too short and just not very good, and that there was nothing from the episode to make us care about the characters. Both of those things were fixed in episode 2. The action scenes in this episode were top notch. They were just very well done. And we got some great scenes that really gave us insight into the personalities of our characters. What's up, y'all? It's your man, Dad Dude, bringing you guys another video. I'm giving out subscriptions down below, so if you like 86, I will be reviewing every episode, and I'll talk about other anime too. You don't want to miss anything, so go hit that button. Also, feel free to follow and hit me up on Twitter at DadDudeAnime. One of the big questions that episode 1 left me with was, what is the origin of the 86? And in my video I did on episode 1, I was just spitballing and I said, hey, maybe the 86 are clones or they're artificial humans of some sort. Neither of those could be further from the truth. They are not clones. They are not artificial humans. It's just good old-fashioned racial discrimination. That's all it is. The people of San Magnolia, they are subjugating these people who live on the borderlands of their territory, I guess, however you want to call it. And they are forcefully conscripting them into their army and making them fight for them. Although the public doesn't know about this, I guess only the military does. But that is pretty much what it is. You get some serious, Hitler master race vibes from San Magnolia. They all look the same. They all have like the same color hair and everything. They're very homogenous when it comes to their looks and as far as the people. And then you have the people from the 86, the people who live on the border, and they all have like different hair colors. They have like different skin tones and stuff like that. And so, yeah, you really get it's just good old-fashioned racial discrimination. That's pretty much all it is. It is nothing as complex or sci-fi-ish as, cloning or stuff like that. Now they took the people from the lowest rung of society, they stripped them of their citizenship, and the way that 86 can gain citizenship again, it seems, if they complete a certain amount of time in a military service, they get their citizenship back. At least that's what the show implies when we have Lena talking to Shin, and she's like, oh, you're close to becoming a citizen again. Like, what are you going to do with that time or with that freedom? And so it seems after they clear a certain amount of time in the army, they get citizenship again. But I don't think anybody actually gets that, because the people of San Magnolia think that they have all these unmanned drones out here fighting for them. That whole charade would kind of come crashing down if these people were giving citizenship. If they completed service and they came back, they would tell everyone that they were out there fighting for them. And so the government's lie would kind of come crashing down. So I don't think anybody actually gets that citizenship back, but that seems to be what they're told when they get conscripted into the army. After watching episode 1, I was a bit skeptical about how good the action in this show could be, because to me, the action in episode 1 was just mediocre at best. It wasn't good. But the action in episode 2 was very well done. I found the battle scenes to be very engaging. I love the strategic aspect that we got to see in this episode. I was also skeptical about how good the action could be when I saw that the drones that the 86 are piloted were more of an insect-like design, and also the drones they're fighting against were more of an insect-like design instead of the usual bipedal design we see in most mecha anime. But to my surprise, again, that we got to see some pretty cool maneuvers with those insect-like drones. It surprised me how good it was. And overall, the action was just, again, very well done. I enjoyed it, and I hope that is the standard going forward instead of what we got in episode 1. Now, I'm inclined to believe that what we got in episode 2 will be the standard going forward. It's hard to think that their action would greatly improve from episodes 1 to 2 and then go down again. I just don't see that happening. But hey, we've seen crazier things happen in anime. But I got to give the show props. For as much shit as I talked about 86 in episode 1, it improved greatly in this episode. In my video for episode 1, I went on and on talking about how that episode didn't do anything for making me care about the characters. I can't make that complaint at all with episode 2, especially when it comes to Lena. She was the star of this episode. Even though we got to see the 86 go into battle and pilot their drones and everything, Lena was the real star with the way she engaged with the 86 and her own people in San Magnolia. We saw that she was willing to go into a classroom and just tell the cadets, whatever you want to call their, military, the students in their military academy, she was willing to go on and just tell them exactly what the deal was when it comes to the 86 piloting the drones. And she was really standing up for the 86, even when the students were kind of, going, giving her some pushback, saying they aren't humans, that they don't matter. When she was telling them straight up, no, they matter. They are people just like us. They are people who are similar of age to us, and we should care about what happens to them. And they really weren't feeling her. They really weren't picking up on what she was saying. Also, what is going to happen with the observer who was in the classroom when they left? Is Lena going to be reported? How is that going to work out? Is she going to face some repercussions for going in the classroom and saying what she said? The professor seemed really worried about the things she was saying, and that she was sounding so pro 86. So, with her uncle being such a high-ranking member of the military, will he protect her that way? She's going to get some favoritism because of nepotism. Or is she going to face some actual consequences? She doesn't seem to be very worried about it, so I don't think she's going to face consequences from that. But we'll see going forward. And I also really liked her, the way she engaged with the 86. She is naive when it comes to the relationship with the 86. She's trying to be very friendly with them, and I don't think she quite understands how the 86 view their handlers. To them, for good reason, they believe that their handlers don't care about them because their handlers probably haven't cared about them until Lena has come along. She cares, but if the experience they have with their handlers up until now is that they don't care about them, it's kind of hard for her to come in and just be super friendly from the beginning. She's going to have to build their trust and build some rapport with them, and then maybe they might be a little more receptive to her trying to come in and being their friend. But just trying to be their friend from the get-go is probably off-putting to them because they just don't know how to accept that, and they might think she's trying to manipulate them. I can understand why they aren't being receptive to her advances of friendship and trying to build some rapport. That's going to take a while. But I did like that Lena was still willing to show her authority when she was talking to Shin about filing his reports. While she is trying to be super friendly and while she does care about the 86, she does take her job seriously, and she was willing to impose her authority on Shin and say, you have to file these reports because I am going to read them. Even though maybe your past handlers haven't read them, but I am going to read them and I care. And so I'm going to need you to do this. And she didn't really leave a lot of leeway for Shin. She pretty much laid down the law and gave him an order. And so I like that. I like that she cares about the 86. She wants to befriend them, but also she takes her job seriously. She is going to impose her authority when she needs to. I like that we get both sides of Lena. We get the caring side, and we get the side of her that actually really cares about her job. So the government of San Magnolia really believes that the war is going to be over in 2 years. According to their intel, the Republic of Giad doesn't really exist anymore. You have these drones that were built by Giad, or Giad, however it's said, but their power source is going to run out in 2 years, and they won't be able to operate anymore, and the war should be over after that. I don't think it's going to go that well for San Magnolia, but if that is true, are there other nations besides San Magnolia who have managed to, resist the drones built by Giad and are also fighting back? Or is it just the world is just one big wasteland overran by all these AI powered or AI controlled drones, and San Magnolia is just the last holdout? I'm inclined to think that there are other countries out there who are also maybe at war with these drones and resisting, but we don't know yet. It's only episode 2, so we haven't been introduced to those things yet. San Magnolia very well could be the only country left, but I just don't think it's going to go so well for them that in 2 years the war is just going to end because these drones are going to run out of power. If these drones are really powered by or controlled by AI that was smart enough to take over Giad and wipe out Giad, at least the government of Giad, I think they could find the alternate power source. These drones, I would think, can have some construction abilities to be able to build some power plants or find ways to harness some energy and keep their drones moving. I would just think if an AI was smart enough to take over humanity, they could then find some way to find a power source. So I don't think the war is going to end just in 2 years, or maybe the government's hiding something. Maybe the government knows that Giad is actually still, that people of Giad are still there and in control, but they're bringing about this message of the war will be over in 2 years to keep the citizens happy and to keep the people, kind of content. They don't want them to know exactly how bad the war is going for San Magnolia. Maybe that's the case. We know that the government of San Magnolia is willing to lie to their people about their drones being unmanned and there being no casualties. So if they will lie about that to the people, they will for sure lie about how well the war is going and how soon the war may end. But we don't know yet. Again, it's only episode 2. But I do have to say again that for as much as I shit on 86 in my video for episode 1, I gotta give it mad props for episode 2. The episode 2 was an all-around great episode, and I am really looking forward to seeing where the show is going to go over here. I was interested in the premise of the show, and after episode 1, I was kind of let down. Maybe I was thinking maybe the show was going to be so good. But after watching episode 2, I have renewed hope in this show, and I think it's going to be one of the gems of this, I was about to say winter season, of the spring season of 2021. I think this will be one of the better shows, and I am very looking forward to seeing where it goes from here. That's all I have for you on this one, guys. If you enjoyed this video, go hit that thumbs up, and if you are so inclined, subscribe and share it. It will help me out a lot. If you didn't like the video, or if you disagree with anything I said, maybe you thought episode 1 was great and episode 2 was just not very good, but whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments. I respond to almost everything. And again, feel free to follow and hit me up on Twitter @DadDoAnime, and I'll see you guys in the next one.